We're trying to figure out what the Federal Reserve is going to do because we have no idea what's going to go on with the tariffs. Here's my thoughts, though, behind it. I think that a lot of people are just going to come to the table. And I think a lot of, is our economy, as we're starting to make or bring in more and more and more money from tariffs, I think it's going to be a lot of money that the U.S. never even realized was available. So we're going to bring in billions of dollars from tariffs. That's going to help tremendously our deficit in the United States, which ultimately would help us with interest rates as well. So let's get over to the data that was just posted today. We had yesterday was consumer confidence. That fell off a cliff. We had JOLT index, which has job openings and labor transfers. It was down. There's not a lot of people moving jobs right now like we saw during the great pandemic. But then here's what we got today. We have, let me blow this up to make sure you guys can see this in great detail. Okay, so we have the ADP payroll numbers. Now, I'm not a huge fan of ADP because they come out and they could be 50 to 100,000 off. Okay, so if you look at these numbers, the last reading, I don't know if this was revised. Let's go to another chart that I have to see if I can get a revision. Yes. Okay, ADP payroll numbers. They reported 155,000 at the last report that they gave us. It was revised down to 147. That was probably one of the biggest or the closest calls they had in a long time. So this is the report or the news calendar that I watch on a daily basis. So let's go over this real quick and then I'll break down the economic calendar that you guys might use. So here's what we had coming in today. These things are telling us purchases and refinances. These numbers, if they're high, means a lot of people are refinancing. If they're low, it means not a lot of people are buying. So right now there's about 5 times as many people refinancing than they're buying. So that's in this market, and I can vouch for that because we don't have a lot of contracts coming in. This weekend we got, I think, 3 or 4. That's not common. We usually get Mondays are crazy. So this week getting 3, that's a fraction of what we usually get. So we got the ADP payroll numbers coming in. I don't know how I'm going to look at that. I'll wait till Fridays are real numbers from the federal government. But then here's what I was waiting for to go live. The core PCE, GDP, and so forth. So we had PCE prices, 2.6. Well, let's go to my calendar. I like this better. Here's what we saw. GDP went from a 2.4 to negative 0.3. So we're having the economy just crashing. But when we go to the inflation, so this is the PCE. This is the number one right here. It's on the top. It's the first column, and this is the stuff that the Federal Reserve monitors. So this is what we call economy at a glance. The Federal Reserve controls this rate right here, and it's high right now. This should be probably about 3.5. Maybe 3, but it's high because they're waiting to see how these tariffs affect what the Federal Reserve does. So this is the only rate that the Federal Reserve controls. This rate is basically interbank lending. So when one bank needs money, this is the interest rate they pay the other bank to get that money. So when this rate goes up or down, well, it determines what the banks are going to do on lending to you. Because if their money is going to go up, well, then they're going to push up the rates on our money.